After I released the video on Kucoin Triangular Arbitrage Trader, I've been receiving a lot of emails and a lot of comments regarding some bugs and some issues that they're facing. So I decided to make a video to answer some of those questions. The first issue that I want to talk about is the latency or the duration it takes for each trade to execute. So if you watched my last video, you must have noticed that the duration for each trade was over 2 seconds or over even 3 seconds in some scenarios, which is really not acceptable, right? If you're doing a triangular arbitrage trades, you want your trade to be executed as quickly as possible. But if it's over 3 seconds, then the overall duration for this entire trade would be around 9 seconds or 10 seconds, which is really not acceptable for a triangular arbitrage trade. So the reason that was happening is because it's an issue from my end. When I was testing the bot, I was sitting really far away from the router, which is what was causing the latency to be so high, which is really not true. So this time what I did is I sat reasonably close to the Wi-Fi router and I did the testing again, and you can see the numbers on the screen. These look much better. You can see the duration for each trade is around half a second, which falls within the acceptable levels for this kind of trade. And again, it entirely depends on the location where you're running this bot. If you happen to be really close to the Kucoin servers, then you could get even better latencies. The other issue that many people have reported is that the bot crashes after running fine for a few minutes. The reason that's happening is because there were some instances where the errors were not handled properly in the code, which was causing the bot to crash. For example, if the user entered an invalid market, when I say invalid market, I mean there are no trading pairs that are related to this market. When we do that, it's going to have an effect on the WebSockets that we have to connect to get the pricing information. So that was throwing off and it was causing the bot to crash. The other thing is, if the API keys did not have sufficient access to place orders, then again, the trades would error out and it was also causing the bot to crash. So there were some instances like that which needed to be fixed to avoid crashing the bot. So I did fix all those bugs and I released an updated version which you can download from the description box, and it should be stable compared to the previous one. The code will be made open source once this video hits 20,000 views. So I request you to share the video to help me hit this milestone. I'll be honest with you, I don't really know if this triangular arbitrage trader is going to be profitable or not. But you might be wondering why I spent so much time and effort in building the tools and making these videos if I'm not really sure if it's going to be profitable. The only reason I did this is because there's a lot of community interest. There are a lot of people who follow this channel who are interested in triangular arbitrage trader, and I've received a lot of emails to over the past few years to create an automated trading system for triangular arbitrage. You can go back in time. So the first video that I did on triangular arbitrage was about 4 years ago. Yeah, this is the video, but it was quite rudimentary. The interface was not good and it was built on REST API, so it was really, really slow. So I made an update to this 3 years ago. Yeah, this one. And I improved the performance by using WebSockets, and I think I also slightly modified the interface. But yeah, you can see that it got around 49,000 views. So there's a lot of community interest around this topic. So because it's gaining a lot of traction, it's getting a lot of visibility, I thought making videos on triangular arbitrage would help me boost get more subscribers or get more views. So that's the only reason I did this, and I don't know if it's going to be profitable. I'll be honest with you, my interest is only around the programming side of things. So how can I faithfully create it, make the results look accurate? That's my interest. So if you have any suggestions on how to make it profitable, any strategies that we can implement to optimize the bot, feel free to share it with me. I'll try to incorporate them in the bot. I totally understand this concern, and like I said, I'm not really recommending you to run the bot. This is just an experiment, and if you are concerned about your account security, then I suggest you to never run the bot. If you still want to give it a try, maybe you can put in IP restrictions on your API keys. Create a temporary set of keys, put in the IP restriction so that you only allow the IP address where you're running the bot. And after you try the bot, you can delete the keys. But like I said, even if you have the slightest hesitation, I strongly advise you to never run the bot.